I want to talk about something that every coach struggles with, including me, and that is overcoaching. Look at the title slide of this, the opportunity cost of overcoaching. I've talked a little bit before about how I teach AP Micro to high school seniors, and opportunity cost is essentially this idea where we are choosing something, and because we choose something, that means we're giving up something else. And when we talk too much as coaches, we usually think that we're helping learning. But the reality is that more talking doesn't always equal more learning. And that's a hard truth for coaches because our instinct is to explain. We want to clarify and fix mistakes, and we want our players to really understand exactly what we mean. So when something goes wrong in practice, what do? We blow our whistle, we stop everything, and we bring everyone in, and then we explain. And sometimes that explanation turns into a 2-minute small coaching clinic. And I think that's a problem. And when we walk away from that moment, we think that we coached and we think that we helped, but we rarely think about the opportunity cost of that moment, specifically if you run like a 90-minute practice. So, opportunity cost is a simple idea. It means every decision that you make eliminates another opportunity for us, for our players. Specifically within overcoaching, every time that we stop practice to talk, we think that we're fixing a problem. But what we're basically doing is removing opportunities from learning. That's not to say you should never stop practice, but every time that you stop practice to talk, you're losing game reps. You're losing reps where they're making decisions, where you are trying. I misspelled something on here. Game reps, decision reps. You are mistaking learning for a competitive environment, I think is what I was trying to put right there. But we're losing our game reps, and basketball players get better when they're playing basketball, not by standing in a semicircle listening to you. And I think that's a really important thing for us to know as coaches is that players learn by doing, not by listening. And learning happens when they feel the mistake and they can learn from the mistake. And certainly there's ways we can coach it up from that, but that moment of struggle is where the brain actually starts adapting to different things, because when we stop practice and explain the mistake before they experience it, we interrupt that learning process. And maybe even more importantly, we lose a competitive environment because basketball is chaotic and it's fast and it's unpredictable. And when we constantly stop something, we are slowing it into something that is slow and controlled, but the game isn't controlled. It's not like football. Um, we need to be preparing our players for what the game actually feels like. And players don't learn the game best by listening, they learn the game best by doing. So, to simplify this whole thing even more, here's the idea that I want you to leave this 4 or 5 minute video from is the more that you explain, the less that they experience. And experience is where learning actually lives. Players need more time to explore. They need time to try things and get creative and fail. And they need time to solve problems on their own, because the reality of a game is that you're not standing on the court with them. You're not in a headset with them calling out a play and telling them exactly what the defense is about to do. And so you can't stop a possession and draw something up on a whiteboard. So players have to figure out and fix things in real time. So the more opportunities that we give them to experience the game in practice, the more prepared that they're actually going to be when the game actually happens. Now, that doesn't mean we should never talk. As I've said before, coaching is still incredibly important, but the great ones become really intentional about when they talk and the things that they're saying, and call it the economy of words. So sometimes the best decision you can make is to say nothing, let something play out, let a mistake happen, let the players feel the problem, because when they experience it, they become far more ready and attuned to understanding the solution. And that's where real learning begins. Because in basketball and in learning, experience is where growth lives, and it's where learning happens at the end of the day.